Good morning. It's been a rough couple of weeks for me. I have had issues at work. Just I've been with the same job for 24 years, and I feel like I do a good job. I feel like I do the best I can, and it's just been really rough. A week or so ago, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. A week or so ago, I was asked to do something that I had never ever done before. I had no idea how to do it. And I suggested to my supervisor that maybe she get one of the technicians to do it because they understood what needed to be done. It was basically involving putting in a ticket with a vendor. And it was regarding stuff I'd never worked on before, or like I said, knew how things worked. And so she asked me to do it. I suggested that one of the technicians do it, and then it came up in our group chat, and one of my coworkers said, "Hey, just contact Bob." It's like, okay, I know Bob. I'll send him an email and see if we can get the ball rolling. And so I contacted this person, and he said, "Oh, email Rich." So I emailed Rich, and Rich said, "Oh, you need to call this toll-free number." Okay, so I called the toll-free number, got to a person, and they said, "Well, do you have, this certain information?" I said, "No, I don't, but I have the location." So I gave her the location. She looked up the information, and she said, "But unfortunately, I can't help you. You need to call another toll-free number." She says, "But I'll transfer you, but you might want to write this down for next time." Okay, so I'm being now transferred to the fourth person in this chain of events. And unfortunately, the person that I got, English was not their first language. So I had to not only try to understand what she was trying to say, but also try to understand the technical aspects of it. And we finally were able to get the information and get a ticket started. And I'm like, yes, I did this. It was very, very stressful for me, extremely, because I do not like being put in situations where I don't know what I'm doing. So it was extremely, extremely stressful, frustrating, and a little humiliating because, you're calling and talking to people and not having any clue what you're doing. So I'm like, okay, it's done. Everything, the wheels are in motion to get this thing fixed. I go have lunch, come back, get a call, and they're like, "Well, the information you gave us isn't right." It's like, well, that's what they looked up. Well, it's not right. So by this point, I'm done. I can't take it any farther than I can. And so I put it out there in group chat. Nothing. No response from anybody. And so I'm totally frustrated at this point. This job has already stressed me out to the point that I don't want to be here. And so I contacted my supervisor. I said, "Look, you need to give this to a tech. I've taken it as far as I can. I said, if you feel the need to write me up or whatever, go ahead. I'm done. I can't do this anymore." And she said it was very unprofessional for me to say that. She said that if I was going to refuse to take accountability for this request, that she was going to have to pursue disciplinary action. First time, 24 years of being at my job, that I've had a supervisor say that. I was shocked. And I guess I brought it on myself because I did say, "Do whatever you have to do. I can't take it." But she made it sound in the chat that we were having that I didn't do anything, that I hadn't even tried. And it was so frustrating because I've cried so much over this. It was frustrating and humiliating to be put in a position where you're going to fail, where you have to work with people who are asking you questions and you have no idea what the answer is. And so I was ready to quit. I was ready to just walk away from this job and go find something else. But a coworker, God bless him, took the time to talk me off the ledge, got me, gave me some advice that, it's like, well, why didn't anybody say this before? So I called another coworker. I said, hey, can you work with me on this tomorrow? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand what they're asking for. I don't even understand how all of this works in the scheme of things. So I can't talk intelligently to the vendor because I've never in my whole career done anything like this. And so he said, yeah, sure, just give me a call in the morning and we'll go over it. I called him in the morning, talked to him for like 15-20 minutes, and I had clarity. I understood what I was supposed to be doing, why I was even doing what I was doing, and could call and at least be somewhat competent in what I was doing. The point is, I was asked to do something that I had no clue on. I even at one point asked for help in our group chat. Nobody responded. And my supervisor, when I was at the point of total frustration, basically turned her back and said, if you're not going to do it, then we're just going to write you up for it. That hurt. That she didn't, because, eventually everything worked out, and I don't know, maybe she thinks life is good. But there's been some other incidents since then that just make me, I think the worst part is doubt myself. I've always felt like I was a good worker. I always felt like I did things the way I was supposed to. I asked for help when I need it. I try to find the information myself, but this was so outside of anything I'd ever done. I wasn't even sure who to ask, what information I needed. And a lot of people would look at that as a challenge, or would look at it as a learning opportunity. But that's not how I learn. And I'm not one, to challenge myself unless it's something I'm really interested in. So it's been really hard just to want to work, just to want to be part of the whole organization and be part of the group, because I don't feel like I am. And I had this same issue several years ago. I work in a very technical group, but I do some technical stuff, but I'm more the admin. I'm more oh, we need this spreadsheet built, or we need, to gather this information, or can you contact this person, or can you do the billing for this? And I'm fine with that. But I had asked 4 years ago to learn the technical aspect of it, and was told, yeah, but for right now we need you to do this. That supervisor left. We had another supervisor come on board. I said, I really want to learn the technical aspects. Oh, yeah, I think that's great. That's probably a good idea. But before we do that, can you do A, B, C? He left. We didn't have a supervisor, so I went to the person above him and I said, look, I really want to learn the technical aspects of this. And they're like, oh, that's great, but right now we don't really have a supervisor, so we're gonna kind of put some of that stuff on you for a little bit, to go to the meetings and get the information and pass on information to the higher ups. Okay, fine. So we get a third supervisor, and this is in a 4-year period, mind you. We get a third supervisor, and she comes in and she says, oh yeah, that would be great. I think that would be awesome for you. It'd be a chance for advancement, but we're getting rid of this billing system and moving totally this billing system, so we really need you to work on this. So I knew at that point it wasn't going to happen. I knew that, what I wanted to do, what they said I should learn to do, I didn't learn. And then a week and a half ago, this same supervisor is like throwing this technical stuff at me and assuming I'm going to know what it is. It's like, I've asked you for 4 years to give me that education and never got it. And now suddenly I'm supposed to know it. We're shorthanded. We've had several people leave. And so, yeah, I get that we're shorthanded. I even offered to pick up some of this. I trained with the guy before he left on how to do some stuff. So it's not like I'm not doing my part. It's not like I'm unwilling. I just want a little bit of guidance. I don't think that's too much to ask, but so basically what this comes down to is, for the first time in 22 years, I had to recreate a resume, and I had to go through everything I've done, and that really stabbed me in the heart, because I like what I do. I really do. I didn't think I did until I started writing it down, and it's like, oh yeah, I really kind of enjoy doing that. Oh, I really enjoy doing that. And I love the people I work with, but the management is extremely stressful for me. And my manager, God bless her, I love her in the sense of a person. She's very kind-hearted, very outgoing, very funny. She's got a great sense of humor. But she's not a supervisor. And she's very unorganized. She's very chaotic. She changes direction constantly. We're on this big project, and since the day she's walked in, there was something that we were supposed to work on, and every time we get it on the schedule, she's like, oh, well, we need to go do this. And just in the last 3 weeks, it's been the same thing. We go to different locations around Montana, and she had said, set up a meeting because we need to go to Great Falls. Okay, great. So I set up the meeting, and we have and it even says on the meeting line, Great Falls. And we have the meeting. She says, oh, she doesn't even bring up Great Falls, doesn't even mention it. She goes, oh, I think we're going to go to Billings. We're going to do that. We're going to go work at the locations in Billings. I don't say anything. It's like, well, okay, we're changing again. Then we have another meeting this past Monday, and Billings isn't brought up, but it's like, oh, we're going to go to Boulder and Warm Springs. Okay, we're going to go do those locations now. Nothing ever gets done. All we do is plan. There's a lot of planning. I mean, a lot of planning that gets done. Very little work gets done, because we're always starting to gather the information, get everything ready to go to these locations, and we're most of the way there, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, we're going to go over here. And it's chaotic, and it's very stressful for me, because that's not how I work at all. I'm very much okay, here's point 1, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to be done. And then that's done. Now we can go over here and we can do this and do this and do this. It's done. Moving on to the next thing. With her, it's, let's do this. We're here. But, oh, wait. Let's put everything on hold and go back and do this for a different location. Do this for a different, oh, wait. And so we're not getting anything done. We're starting, but we're not completing. And, and I understand that she feels the need to please the upper management by going to the places that they think we should go to. And I get that, because I'm a people pleaser myself. But I think you need a manager or a supervisor that's going to go to the higher ups and say, look, yes, we need to do these things. But first, we've already told these people we're going to come and work at their locations. And we need to get these things done before we can go do the ones that you just mentioned. She doesn't have that ability. And I think that's why we're kind of stuck in this rut of always continually starting stuff but never completing stuff. And so we have a ton of projects out there right now that aren't done, probably won't get done. And we have several employees who have left. I know of several that, whether they're actively looking for a job, I think if they were given the opportunity to leave, would leave. And I'm in the same boat. And it's a shame because, like I said, I really, really do like what I do. And I realized that through writing out my resume, that I really do enjoy what I do. And I really love my coworkers. And I've worked with some of these people for 20 plus years. So, you know, leaving is like leaving a family. So yeah, I didn't plan on crying or talking this long, but stuff I needed to get out. So today is Thursday, and I am working part of the day, and then I'm taking the afternoon and tomorrow off so I can focus on other stuff. So I'm hoping that having the break will help. My husband and I were talking last night, and I have had chronic headache, joint pain, depression, mood swings. And yes, some of that is menopause, but a lot of it is what I'm eating. So we're looking at starting the Whole30 in the next couple of weeks. For those of you who don't know what the Whole30 is, it's basically a elimination diet where you eliminate foods that have been known to cause issues. So we're going to do that in the next couple of weeks. We still have a lot of food at our house that we don't want to throw out, that we want to eat before we do this, you know, and to mentally prepare and kind of reread through the stuff, because there is quite a bit to it to be able to do that. So I'm hoping that will help. I'm hoping that by getting a resume together and maybe even applying for a couple of jobs will at least help my attitude, and make me realize that I do like what I do and give me a better appreciation for where I'm at right now. But I also have to make a list of pros and cons on staying where I am versus possibly moving on. And that's really hard for me. I don't like change. But as a coworker pointed out, the same one that talked me off a ledge on that bad day, he pointed out when we were talking about my resume, he pointed out that I really do evolve. As my job evolves, I evolve. And so that does show that I am willing to change, and I can change, and I can continue to do a good job even as things around me continue to change. So that made me feel good. But this morning, yesterday afternoon and this morning, I'm borderline depression. I don't know why. Probably I went out to eat yesterday for lunch, so maybe that had something to do with it. Okay, so not a very happy little vlog, but just some stuff I had to get off my chest. I really should get better about doing these. I don't know. I don't think it's a very helpful vlog for anybody, unless they're going through the same thing, and no, you're not alone. So I hope everybody has a great day. I'm going to try to plan a better day. I'm focusing on gratefulness. This morning I woke up with a headache, but I was grateful for Excedrin migraine black tea and a hot shower. Right now I'm grateful for having a nice warm shop to be in. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have a job, because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't. And I'm very grateful that I only have a half a day to get through. So there you go. I do have some stuff to look forward to. I will talk to you later. Bye.